If you've never planned a wedding,
strap in.
Hey y'all, if you're new here, I'm April Christine. Welcome to my channel. If you're not new here, hey boo, I see you coming back. So for today's video, I just wanted to do a little chit chat, get ready with me, and talk to you about wedding planning. I am so stressed, you guys. I cannot. We're gonna get into it. I'm gonna let you know all the details. I just really need to tell somebody what's happening. I just really need somebody to listen to what's happening. Before I start this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. I'm really curious about what you guys want to see on my channel. I love talking to you guys in the comment section down below, so always let me know what you think about the video. If there's anything that you want to tell me, let me know in the comment section. I love talking to you guys. If this is not your content, don't worry, I have plenty of other content on my channel for you to watch, something that does spark your interest. I just uploaded a really funny video with my sister. We did the Bean Boozle challenge, so go check that out if you haven't already. But if this is your stuff, if you are into talking, chatting, sit with me, grab a snack, grab some makeup, do whatever you have to do, get comfortable, and let's get into it. If you saw my last video, you know that me and Horace are trying to get married. We've been engaged for a very long time, and everything just seemed so easy. When we went to go pick our venue, hold on, let me give you some backstory. So if you saw my last video, you know that me and Horace were supposed to get married in 2019 in Hawaii. So part of the reason that I wanted to get married in Hawaii and do a destination wedding, this is a side note. My sister dragged me for how big my beauty blender is. I don't know, I have 2 kids, and when I run into the store, I know what I need and I just grab things. And this just happened to be the beauty blender that I grabbed. Is it huge? Yes. Do I care?
Absolutely not.
Might you care? Maybe, and I'm sorry if you do. But bear with me. It's the little things in life that we can't stress too much about.
Okay.
What was I saying? The reason I wanted to do a destination wedding in Hawaii is because, remember when I told you I had 5 friends? I wasn't lying. I'm not close to a lot of people who I feel like would come to my wedding. Also, my family is not that big. So I thought to myself, why am I going to throw a big wedding? Honestly, I didn't know who was going to come. And then on top of that, I didn't want the stress of planning a wedding. If you've never planned a wedding,
strap in.
Because it's a whole mess. I didn't want the stress of planning a wedding. I didn't want to have to pick napkin colors and tablecloth colors and seating charts and all that stuff. It's just not my thing. So that's part of the reason I wanted to go to Hawaii. Another reason why I wanted to go to Hawaii, I am obsessed with waterfalls. The thought of being able to get married in front of a waterfall just made my heart want to explode. I just love the thought of it. So when I was looking for destinations, obviously Hawaii isn't the cheapest option, but just the thought of being able to get married somewhere that wasn't traditional, I love. And then I thought to myself, well, instead of doing the whole reception thing in Hawaii, because I don't know how many people are actually going to go, we could just go to a luau afterwards and have just the whole Hawaiian experience. Just seemed awesome to me. So that's what we were supposed to do. It was supposed to be easy, catch a flight and go. And if you saw my last video and a few of my other videos, you know that that didn't happen because I did get pregnant with Camila. So we were supposed to get married in September of 2019, and Camila was going to be born August of 2019. So within that time period, there's no way that I could hop on a plane or she could hop on a plane. I knew I was going to have a C-section, so it wasn't going to work out. That's why we decided to postpone our Hawaii wedding.
Thank you for coming out. I appreciate you doing your one job that you literally have.
That leads us to, so while I was pregnant, we were going to look at venues, and I found this venue that has a waterfall. If you know anything about me by the videos that I posted, you know that when I see something that I want, I mean, who's gonna tell me no? I know that I'm spoiled, I know that, but in my defense,
I didn't spoil myself.
Somebody else spoiled me for me to be the way that I am. So when I saw it, I was like, I don't know what the price is. I don't know what we have to do in order to get into this venue, but I want it. I want it.
Please.
Can I have it?
I want a party. Give it to me. Now.
And of course, nobody told me no. So We winded up making all of the arrangements to have our wedding here. We put the deposit down. We're actually going to be getting married on a Friday. And the reason that we're doing that is because for the same room that we would be renting for our wedding, it's $5,000 cheaper to have it on a Friday night than it is to have it on a Saturday night. So why am I not gonna save $5,000 if I can? You know what I mean? Well, Horace does have a lot of family in Alabama, like a lot of family. So we knew that if we were going to plan something local, it was gonna be in Texas, but we also knew that a lot of his family is going to travel for this event. That's just how his family is. They show up and they show out, which I love. So we already knew that, you know, we were going to have a pretty big guest list. So we did opt for the bigger hall and all of that was fine. Everything was fine. So let me break down prices for you guys. I'm not gonna really hold anything back in this video. I don't have any secrets. I don't care if you know our budget or not, or if you think it's a small budget or a big budget. This is just our budget and this is what we're doing.
So
for the hall that we decided to rent, it's $1,500.
cool.
And then for the waterfall site that I want, it's another $1,500.
Cool.
So we're sitting about $3,000 already.
Cool.
The thing is, when you are planning a wedding, they have minimums. So our event minimum, meaning the amount of money that we had to spend with the venue in order for them to host our wedding, was $5,500. So the whole time that we're deciding on a venue, we know this. We know that we have to spend at least $5,500 for them to have our wedding, and we're fine with that. It was going to be probably about the same that we were going to be spending in Hawaii anyways, because Hawaii is so expensive. So we were planning to spend anywhere from $5,500 to $6,000 because we knew that that's the minimum requirement that we had to make. So with that in mind, we were already at $3,000 with the hall and the waterfall, which was totally fine. So we knew we had at least $2,500 to $3,000 extra that we needed to spend. So at the venue that we chose, they have to do the catering. They don't allow any outside food. They don't allow anything that is not provided by them other than desserts. Again, we didn't have a problem with that. I didn't have a problem because I knew we were going to have to spend that extra money on something, so I knew it was going to be food. And we were not going to pay for alcohol. We're not going to pay for an open bar. We're just not the type to just throw away money. And as you guys know, I don't drink. So I'm not just going to put thousands and thousands of dollars into an open bar because I'm not.
Judge me if you want to.
We figured with the food, we would be good on our minimum. So I already knew I didn't want to go over at least 100 guests. I knew I didn't want to go more, at least to feed for dinner is what I'm saying. If more than 100 people show up to party with us, cool, I'm all for that. But I didn't want to have to feed more than 100 people because I knew that those prices would add up fast. So the least amount of money that we can pay to feed people is $27 a person. And so with that, we're like, okay, we really got to keep in mind our guest list. If we invite 100 people, that's $2,700, which keeps us in budget. So that was our goal, was to stay around 100 people.
Well,
We set our guest list in stone, and I'm sure if you've planned a wedding or if you've planned anything, you have people who invite other people and those people invite people.
Okay, so I got enough cheese and crackers for 8 people. Do you think that's enough?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was not enough.
So I was very strict about it when we first booked our venue. I'm not gonna name any names, but I told everybody I knew I needed to tell that this is my guest list and we're not going above this guest list. And that's just what it is. I don't really want to exceed this amount because it's going to get very expensive. Everybody understood. Everybody was like, okay, yes, absolutely. And then time goes on. Mind you, we booked this venue like a year ago. So the further we get away from that date when I actually actively sit down and look at things, the more people are telling me, okay, well, I'm going to invite these people and I'm going to invite these people and I'm going to invite these people. And I'm just
like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
mind you, it's not actively in my mind that
No, April Christine.
we are sticking to our 100 limit.
So,
Our guest list gets up to 140 pretty quickly, which it is what it is.
until
Me and my maid of honor have an appointment at the venue one weekend, and if you follow me on Snapchat, you saw that stuff that we went to the venue. We were working on wedding things all weekend. We had our tasting. We had to finalize a few details for the wedding. And so while we're there, we tell our guest count and our chair count and all that stuff, what we're gonna need, our table count, how we want our table set up, where we want our dance floor, where we want the bar, where we want the cake, that kind of stuff is everything that we're talking about. Before we leave, she tells me, okay, on Monday I'm going to send you the invoice for your estimated total cost of the wedding. So we leave there. Like I told you, that weekend we're doing wedding things. We're working on bouquets. A lot of the stuff for my wedding is DIY. I made my own donut wall. I made my own invitations. I decorated my own centerpieces. I made my photo booth. Everything I pretty much did myself. So I wasn't spending too much money outside of the venue and the stuff that I knew I was going to be paying for. So Monday rolls around and I don't don't hear from the lady. Tuesday rolls around, I don't hear from her. Wednesday rolls around, and I still don't hear from her. So I'm already doing wedding things. I'm already talking to the baker and the videographer and all that stuff and making arrangements with them. So I sent her an email and I'm like, hey, just a reminder, I never heard from you for our estimated cost for the wedding. If you could just send that to me as soon as you get a moment. So she's like,
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Yes, I'll send it right away.
mind you, I'm already working on payments for everybody else, and she sends me the invoice. Like I told you, for the venue, it is $1,500. For the waterfall, it's $1,500. So we already knew we were going to be sitting around $3,000 for that. On the invoice, that's what it says, the $1,500 and the $1,500. So we're sitting at $3,000. And then they incorporate the cost of chairs, which is kind of a ripoff. They want you to pay $3.50 per white chair at your ceremony, which, okay. So that cost is in there as well. And then we get down to the food. To feed 140 people, it's $4,000. Yes, you heard me right. $4,000 to feed 140 people.
So...
Okay, we just have to work on our guest count. I mean, okay. So I continue looking down on the invoice,
And then
because of the amount of food that we're having, our total for the wedding, we're sitting at $7,500. We're already $1,500 above budget at that point. I keep scrolling. Underneath our total is their included prices. Taxes is about $700, which we're in Texas, so we have a really high tax rate. Okay, $600.
But
underneath that is the gratuity, like the tip. And obviously we're gonna tip these people. It's only right to tip, you know, the people who are serving our wedding. But their gratuity is 20% of our total. Mind you, our total is $7,500. So the tip for these people is $900 just for a tip. And you guys, if I knew for a fact that tip was gonna go 100% to the people working my wedding, okay, I would be less shocked by it. But think about it, if we have 9 people serving our wedding, that's $100 tip per person. And I don't think we're going to have more than like 10 people serving our wedding because we're not even having an open bar. So we're gonna have like one bartender, of course the cooks, and then whoever is serving. So I don't know how many servers we're going to have. But
that's a lot of money.
I thought gratuity was usually 15%. And then you increase that by 5%, and then you're taking it off of thousands and thousands of dollars that the total is. That's just insane to me. So our overall total price for the wedding, we're sitting at $8,500. And that is $3,000 over our budget. And it's just, we thought we were doing good as far as making payments, and we were only going to owe them, you know, not too much by the time it was time to pay for the entire wedding. We were very wrong. We were very wrong. I don't know. I was so stressed out because, I don't know, that's a lot of money. Yes, it's going to be paid for, but it's just crazy to me that we thought we were going to be within this budget this entire time, and we were so strict about planning everything, and then that's not what happened. So as of today, we are 46 days out from the wedding. That's not a lot of time to come up with $3,000. So I've just been stressed about our guest count, and I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of RSVPs from people, so I'm thinking to myself, maybe the people who I haven't gotten RSVPs from, I will just not include them in the dinner because I'm not going to overpay for somebody who's not going to show up. So I'd rather pay for the people that I know are going to be there, and then if extra people show up, then before we leave, we can pay the price for whoever showed up. But I'm not going to anticipate the people who didn't RSVP that they're coming. So I don't know, we're going to have to narrow out our guest count. So that's the first thing that was stressing me out is how do I tell people that they can't come to my wedding after I've told them they can come to my wedding? Like, sorry, maybe you can join us for, you know, the reception, but pack a sandwich or something. Like, I don't know. So I don't know. I was very stressed out about that.
We have to figure that out.
Then if, as you know, we are in the middle of a
pandemic.
And when I say in the middle, I mean in the middle, but because things are not changing, at least not here anyways. So here in Texas, everything is open and people are out. People are going to restaurants, people are going to bars, people are just out living their life like there's not this virus out there. So every single day, the numbers in Texas are increasing, and it's making me very anxious because I feel like every day somebody I know is affected, and it's just crazy that it's not dying down and people are still going out and not staying home, and it just makes me very anxious. On top of being stressed about the wedding, I also have to be stressed about if we're being safe, if we're being irresponsible by having a wedding and inviting this many people. We do have cancer survivors in our family, and it just makes me very nervous that I could possibly be exposing them to something, not actively, not on purpose, but subconsciously exposing them to something. They're the vulnerable ones, you know what I mean? So that's also in the back of my mind, trying to be responsible and trying not to add on to this pandemic and how bad it is. I kind of want to ask my guests, like, please, 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 if you plan to come to my wedding at least 2 weeks before the wedding, please try to limit. I mean, we all have to go to the grocery store, we all have to do essential things, but please limit the excess amount of things that you're doing. Please don't go out to eat. Please don't go to parties. Please, please, please stay home, because we do have vulnerable people. I just don't know how to communicate that to my guests without them thinking that I'm like a bridezilla and I'm trying to control everything, because I'm really not. It just makes me really nervous. I don't know if for that reason alone we should narrow down our guest count, because I don't know how smart and how safe it is to have all of these people, you know, coming together and having a party essentially, which obviously you shouldn't be doing right now. It's just, I don't know, it's a lot. If you guys have any ideas on how I can let them know nicely and just kind of put it out there for them, I would really appreciate y'all's feedback. We've been waiting so long to get married, and part of it is my fault. The reason I wasn't jumping to planning a wedding 6 months to a year after we got engaged is because, I mean, we're engaged, we're getting married, and at that point we're going to be married for the rest of our lives, so why are we rushing to plan something? I wanted to be financially, you know, able to afford what I wanted, and I wanted to not feel pressured that it had to be done right then and there. So I waited, and maybe it was a mistake for me waiting because Hawaii got pushed back and now the coronavirus is happening and I don't know what's happening. Oh, also, I don't know if they're going to start closing things down again, because our numbers are still increasing here in Texas. So I don't know if venues are going to start closing. I don't know what's going to happen. All of that is just making me very anxious about the entire thing. And people ask me while I was doing all this wedding planning over the past few weekends, everybody's been asking me like, aren't you so excited? Like, you're finally getting married. How exciting. And of course, I'm excited to marry Horace and I'm excited to spend the rest of my life with him. But at the same time, it's hard for me to be excited right now because of everything that's happening, and I'm just really stressed about it all. I don't know. My bridal shower is this weekend. My maid of honor is planning that right now, and so maybe once I, you know, start really diving into actually celebrating my wedding and celebrating what's happening, then maybe I'll feel differently and be really excited about it to come. But right now I just really can't be. I'm nervous. I'm anxious about it. I'm not anxious about, you know, actually getting married. I'm just anxious about everybody being safe and if it's the right thing that we're doing.
I don't know why I just put this on my lid. I was talking to you guys and I'm pretty sure that's not where this was supposed to go, but it's already there.
So
We're already here.
That's where I'm at. How are you? Like, genuinely, how are you? How are you doing with everything? How are your kids? Like, how are your kids taking it? Are you stressed? Are you enjoying the time that you have with them? Are they enjoying the time being home? Are they tired of being locked up? Like, let me know how you guys are doing. I'm actually genuinely curious and concerned because I feel like it's just kind of having an effect on everybody in different ways. And some people don't, like, are you the type of person who's still going out and, you know, going to restaurants and going shopping and doing all these things? Let me know. I'm not judging you if you are. I'm just curious that's what you're doing. I personally am not doing that, but only because, as you know, I have 2 young girls. I don't want to expose them to anything, and I have them with me all the time, so I can't just kind of go by myself, you know what I mean? We're choosing to still stay home, but I really want to know what you guys are doing. Oh, also, on top of all of this wedding stress happening, you guys, it's been a couple of weeks. The last couple of weeks have just been a mess. I'm gonna hop off camera and do my mascara really quick, and I'll be right back.
We're back.
And my mascara's on. I was editing the video that you saw before this video. Usually I do most of my editing either in the morning or in the evening after the girls have gone to bed. So I was editing this video that I had with Horace, and then the girls went to go take a nap, and I was going to start editing again, and my computer started being crazy. So I don't know what was happening to my laptop, but it wasn't reading my hard drive. Like, it wasn't reading that there was a hard drive in my computer at all. I was like, what in the world? So I get on the internet and I'm trying all of the things to try to fix it myself, and it's not working. So I was like, oh.
How many am I going to be YouTube famous if I can't use my laptop?
One of my friends was like, just leave it alone, come back to it tomorrow, trust me, like just leave it alone. So I wind up going to sleep after I mess with it for a really long time. So I call Apple the next morning and I make an appointment for 4 o'clock to go get them to look at my laptop. So I take it in. The guy says that it's either the hard drive that needs to be replaced or it's a cord that needs to be replaced within the hard drive. So I ask him how much it all is, and the cord is like $110 and then the hard drive is like $180. So at that point I'm like, I don't care if it's the hard drive or the cord because I wouldn't be saving any money either way. It winded up being the cord and they fixed it and everything's fine with my computer now, but
That's dedication.
I'm stressed about paying for a wedding and paying for all these other things, and then my computer break, I have to get it fixed. But I'm dedicated to you guys. I had to fix it for you. I know that a few of you really enjoy my channel and I want to continue making content for you guys.
So obviously
I need my computer fixed.
Come on now.
So yeah, that was another thing that I had to worry about too. Things have just been a mess. Where's my highlighter? Why is my life an actual disaster? I don't understand. Alright, you guys. Thank you for sitting and listening to me talk about all of my problems. I'm really trying to be really open with you guys about how I'm feeling when I'm feeling it, and I hope that's okay with you. If you also planned a wedding and you also were over budget or under budget, let me know. I'm really curious about how you guys planned your weddings if you have had one yet. For those of you who have always wanted to get married, let this be a learning lesson that it's expensive, and even when you think you're doing everything right, it's still expensive. Of course, love is amazing, and I'm so ready to marry Horace. He is literally my best friend. I love him so much. I'm really grateful for having him in my life, and he's been so supportive, and he knows how stressed I've been, and he's making sure that I am always taking care of myself. And if I'm too overwhelmed with something that's going on in the wedding, he'll tell me to just put it down and come back to it the next day. So I'm really grateful for him. We only have a few more weeks until the wedding, so I will absolutely be giving y'all wedding updates and how things are going and where we are if we're actually getting married because we owe so much money. Just kidding. I will let you guys know how we're doing on our budget and things like that too. Thank you so much for sitting and talking. Thank you so much for letting me get this off of my chest. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate those of you who actively watch my channel and are so kind about it. It really means so much to me. So thank you guys. Really, at this point I'm just rambling. Let me leave. Let me go. Alright guys, so thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel before you leave. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked this video. I know it's kind of all over the place. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.